Welcome back, everyone, to Funsie.
Funsie.
As
We
you
are
can,
unfortunately
yes,
without one of our beloved members this week, the one and the only Sajko. He's missing his first podcast, officially missing his first
officially,
podcast this week. Um, we're
mark it down.
sad. I'm sure some of you guys are clicking off right now as he is your favorite member, but hopefully, B. Kenny and Jay Millie can keep you guys enticed for long enough to stay on the episode and listen to our wonderful solo episode or duo episode
Duo,
without Sacco.
yes, and to be frank, today was my last dating anniversary with my fiance, and I'm
Oh,
leaving at 3 a.m. to the airport to get down to USDGC. And I
that's
came here because I love you guys. And I wanted to get an episode out under these circumstances. Anyways, but where I'm going with this isn't going
Bendigo.
to, this isn't going to be a super long episode. It's just kind of just going to be a little banter. So if you're okay with that, then yeah, thanks for staying tuned. First question. Should I just stay up all night? Or should I
Yes,
try and get 3 hours of sleep and then wake up? Because we're recording at
I think
11
you should.
p.m. EST.
I think. I think you should stay up until your flight and then try to sleep on the flight. Because I always sleep horribly on the flight. So if
Me
you
too.
stay up, then you'll be more tired, and hopefully it'd be easier for you to sleep on the flight. That's my
So I
opinion.
100% agree with you. And I tried to do that when I flew to Vegas. But this is only like an hour and a half flight.
Oh,
So,
so like almost not even worth it.
yeah, so it's
Why
not
is
even
it
worth
so
it.
early or late or whatever?
Dude, it was
Just cheap.
just, yeah. I think it was like $33 for a ticket to go down there.
Oh, dang,
Flying
that's crazy.
Frontier. Have you ever
Yes, it
flown?
you might die, dude.
You flown Frontier?
Frontier's worse than Spirit if you've flown Spirit.
I haven't flown either. This is my first budget airline that I am
Yeah,
flying.
it's pretty scary. It's pretty
Actually,
scary. Yeah, it's my experience with Frontier was scary, and
wait,
now
wait,
I'm
wait,
willing to
wait,
pay more money than the budget.
wait. Why
And
is it
if you're taking
scary?
any, are you like trying to take a carry on or anything? Like you can't, you have to pay for a carry on
Yeah, yeah.
if you fly
My
Frontier.
personal, I'm just doing a backpack. That's literally
Oh,
it.
okay,
I'm literally just
vibing.
as the TikTok trend says, raw dogging it. I'm just
Oh gosh.
I'm just like going out there, packing my clothes in a backpack, heading down to use the DGC, hoping for the best. But yeah, tell me your experience with Frontier, cause tell me maybe.
I think I've flown Frontier twice, and one of the times was during COVID, and no one was wearing a mask. This was like mid COVID,
Okay, good,
and good.
good as in I'm glad where the
Oh,
story's
like that was a
going, and
while
it's not
ago.
like I'm glad that's the reason you're doing enjoy. I'm not glad it's not like the plane wing started to fly off. So that's what.
Well, the second time was heckin' turbulence. Lots of turbulence. It was a scary flight, and if I remember correctly, a lot of the characters on the flight were quite intimidating to me.
Okay, so
I just
nothing with the infrastructure on
nothing
the plane.
nothing like too crazy, but like, things that you don't want.
Yeah,
I'm sure like you're gonna be fine.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
partially just messing with you.
I know that's the
Yeah.
meme, the Spirit Airline meme, where it's just like when you're on Spirit and then like the plane's like shaking and like so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want I wanted to
Let's do.
just try it out. I mean, it was cheap. It made sense. I'm gonna be working on the staff there at USCGC, so This was the plan. I think shout out Chad and Jonathan Poole, who obviously there's way more people. Jonathan Poole is the original, I guess, head of USDGC and has been all these years. So they wanted to get me out there in February after they came to the expo and just kind of like experience, be part of the staff. So I'll be
Yeah.
there in the entertainment center place.
Yeah, okay. So let's get into some disc golf stuff. What so how did this opportunity arise? I feel like you just hinted at it. And then do you even know what you're doing in like in this entertainment center? Like do you
Yeah.
have any clue what to expect?
So opportunity arise. Jonathan Poole, like I said, and Chad came to the expo. They had a great time. They loved it, and I got to meet with them. They were like, "Hey, like this guy did a really cool thing. We'd love to have him just be on the staff for next year." I'm not officially on the staff. I'm officially on the staff, but not like in a
Are you
way
getting
where
paid?
no, not getting
Just
paid.
getting free entry and free
Yeah,
stuff, I'm
they're
sure.
putting me up in a hotel, which is really nice. Shout out them. But yeah, it was more so of yeah, not I was saying not staff as in like I'm planning for like months on end on stuff like that. It's just more like day of tournament
Volunteer.
staff. Well, it's not. I'm not like a. It's not like a volunteer. It's not like I'm spotting or doing scorecards. It's like for specific, which I'll get into. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is they have a entertainment center where they're going to have a stage and a bunch of seminars, a bunch of people like Ken Clamo. I think I read is gonna kind of there's gonna be a watch party there, which is super cool. And I'm just there to kind of help out with that and whatever needs to be done. I'm not the main guy there, like I said, because they just literally I think the reason they wanted me to fly me out, they just liked what I did at the expo. They thought it'd be just cool, just have me go down there and just help out where I can, and kind of main reason see how they run the event and what they got going on there. So that's one of the biggest reasons I'm heading down there, because I think it'd be cool to like pull back the curtain and see how these guys run this absolutely massive event and how it's all orchestrated. But that's gonna be like my little sector, sort of say. So if you are at USDGC and listening to this on a Wednesday morning, which by the way we've been uploading on Wednesday mornings now, we're not sure what our schedule's upload is going to be looking like, but for now it's Wednesday mornings. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing, just hanging out in there. So come say hi.
My ADHD kicked in, and I have a new question for you.
Do you actually have ADHD?
Undiagnosed,
Okay,
self-diagnosed.
there you go.
Um, where is this Gannon Caddy video? I was promised.
Oh, was it promised by next episode?
I think so.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. Like Sajko, I don't think it started. I'm not blaming it on him. Obviously, there's a lot going on, but that's why he has the another round, his actual job, and then he's getting flown out to USDGC. So that's why it's just he's busy.
Oh,
Simple as that.
why did I think that he said that he had already started? He didn't.
No, I think he said like, "Oh, I have another round stuff to do," but then I'll last week, but then I'll get to it. But I'm guessing he just never. Which I like I said, I don't blame it. It will come out pretty soon, but within it might just be during the tour championship or the week after. It's just
Mm,
he's a busy guy, and I don't blame him because I'm a busy guy, and if I was starting the edit, it wouldn't be done either. So,
there you go.
yeah.
All right, fine. I'll let you slide, man. I'll let it slide just this time
Well,
though.
all right. Let's talk about you, my man. You just uploaded a video.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
I have not watched it, but I know it's in the bag. But
Mm-hmm.
I talk to me about that. How you try and make in the bags more interesting, and do you think they are successful, or is this more of just a low hanging fruit idea to just kind of give you a break in your actual content grind where you're doing like crazy stuff?
Yeah, so that's a great question actually. I have a lot of opinions on in the bags. So I'm personally a hater. Um,
What? I was not expecting that.
I do not like in the bags. So getting into the sport, I loved them. I was like, this is so sick. I can see what pros are throwing. I can see what whoever's throwing. Love it. But being into the sport now for what, 4 years? I started in 2020. Being in content for a year and a half, I'm just over it. Like it's this to me, it was after a year or two or watching 15 of them, it's just the same thing. And especially because pros specifically throw one manufacturer, I was just like, I don't care. Like, and even a lot of them are just, hey, here's the disc I throw, and like don't even show me throwing it. Like I didn't even see them putt or throw or whatever. And so
Mm-hmm.
my personal opinion has been that in the bags are for a seasoned player, or honestly, I just don't like them. You know, I still see the value in them, especially for like someone stepping into the sport. It's awesome. Heck yeah. Love it. Perfect. And even for someone that is like more into the sport and more into the casual, like just getting to know a player and what's in their bag. But for me, the stories aren't there. The value isn't there. I didn't like it. So last year, I was like, I want to post it in the bag, but I want to spice it
Yes,
up. So
I
I
remember
spiced it
this
up. I
video.
did
What's in a
discs I
disc golf
love.
YouTuber's bag? J Millie bag 2023.
Yes. And in that video, I did like 3 sections. I think it was like discs I love, discs, I don't know, essentially like
This you could get rid.
kind of
I
like
did.
these
I do
discs.
now. Now that you're saying this, I do remember
Yes,
watching
disc I
this
could
full
get rid
video.
of. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I did like 3 different sections and made sure to like have a challenge. I was trying to ace a hole, and if I didn't ace a hole, I had to bag a disc and all this stuff because I was like, I want to show my in the bag because I think there's value there, but I want to make it interesting because I don't find other people's in the bags interesting. So I did it, and I was really happy with the video I made. Going in, it was a little bit of like, oh, I want to make something low hanging fruit, and then it was a really time consuming video
Mm-hmm.
turned out, and I was really happy with what I did. But I was kind of like, okay, I made my in the bag. I'm not going to do another one. So coming into this year, I've been doing all my videos, and slowly people have been commenting like, we need an in the bag. J Millie wins the next in the bag.
Ah, so people
I
have been
want
liking it.
I want it in the bag. And I wouldn't say it's like overflowing my comments, but I've seen 15, 20 of those. So I was like, okay, well, obviously some people want this. Um, and I had an idea come to me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so my idea was there was a flex start coming up at one of my local courses. And I realized that I only carry about 18 discs. So it was like, okay, I'm going to play this flex start, and on every single hole, I'm going to throw a new disc off the tee and then explain why I bagged the disc and like what shot I bag it for. So I'm providing the value of like showing shot shapes, and then I'm providing even more value by saying like, oh, I use this disc in the woods. I use this disc for my bomber disc,
This
blah,
is
blah,
your
blah, blah, blah.
actual bag, though.
Yes. So I
Okay.
played a whole tournament
Yeah.
with my actual bag.
Okay, because
And
I'm watching it on mute like a little bit here, and just saw like this warp thing in a stego. So I thought you were going with this is in my bag. This is all new discs I've never thrown before. Here's what they do. So that's why I was so confused. I was like, oh, interesting concept.
so you're watching it on mute. I actually did like a prank at the beginning. I said
Yes.
that I bag the Stego and the Arobi disc
Roby,
and then
yeah,
a
the
bunch of inner
circ.
cores and stuff. So that's just a meme at the
Okay,
beginning. I
yeah,
do my
yeah, yeah.
actual bag later in the video.
Sick.
Um, but the reason I did it was because I had an idea and people wanted it. Like I've said, I don't love in the bags, but going through the edit and going through the creation of the video, I actually fell in love with the concept of it in the sense of like, for
Interesting.
me, since I don't like in the bags, it was a creative challenge to make something interesting enough that I would enjoy it, and in turn, hopefully, that a casual disc golfer would enjoy it more than a regular in the bag. So I was attempting to give the regular in the bag value, but also add something to it, which, is the tournament and, trying to perform well and play well and all that. And so that was a lot of fun for me. And so now my plan currently is to do a new bag in the bag every year with some different concept behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what my idea will be for next year, but it'll be a new challenge or something like that. And this, funnily enough, this video is my longest video by a decent bit. So I probably spent 60 or 70 hours editing. This was my
Sheesh,
hardest video
dude.
to make.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Dude, and
But it's
that's
but
getting so
here's the thing though. I would say that it's the video I'm most proud of. It's not
wow.
necessarily anything like spectacle. Like, it's not like I did something crazy, I crushed a tournament, or I told the best story ever, but I think I did some really cool edits in it, and I made some cool graphics, and I'm very proud of the way I spiced up something that feels so mundane to me
Mm-hmm.
to be an interesting enough story that I would enjoy watching this video myself. So I was like, okay, sick. I'm hyped on this. And my expectations are not like, oh, this video's going to go huge. I'm expecting 15, 20,000 views,
Well,
and I'm
yeah.
happy with
Would you say it's? I mean, you can check your YouTube performance or whatever. But would you say it's one of your lower performing videos, or is it on pace? You posted a day ago and already has 14,000 views. So like, I feel like
that.
that's got to be pretty good.
So it's an 8 out of 10, and that's YouTube jargon for like
Yeah, yeah.
your last 10 videos in terms of what they were at this point. What is it in terms of those? And so it's an 8 out of 10. So it's definitely on the
Okay,
lower
so it's low.
performers,
So yeah, that's my
but in
question.
terms of its like actual analytics, the click-through rate is pretty high and the average view duration is pretty high. Um, which I think shows that people want to watch it and will stay and watch it. And that's all. That was my only goal with it. Hopefully I provide enough value that people enjoy the video. Like, my main goal is to cultivate audience depth on my channel. I want people to feel like they're my homie and, want to watch all my videos, want to hang out with me for 18 holes of disc golf, want to cheer me on the pro tour. Um, and like expect greatness from a video regardless of what the concept is. And so I think that this video accomplished that. So I'm happy with it. And yeah, at the end of the day, 14,000 views in 1.5 days on it in the bag. I'm stoked on that. Like, in the bags, in the bag for a YouTube content creator. I don't know. I don't really expect those to do well. Like, Simon posted in the bag. I'm like, oh yeah, that's getting 200K views. But Jay Millie posted in the bag. I could see that getting 5 or 10,000 views. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. And then it's doing decently well. So
Well, yeah, for
I'm
you,
stoked.
regardless for disc golf YouTube, I mean, 14,000 views is like top 1%, regardless. So,
That's true. Yeah.
so like,
I'm
I
stoked.
obviously take out the Jomas, take out the like GK Pro Skins. I'm talking about just like um content creators and or like Simon or Ezra or anyone. 14K is like, yeah, top 1% for disc golf. What what do you think? Like, what do you think is your fan base? And by that I mean when I see someone like Robbie C. To me, his fan base is the beginner. Like, I feel like people will eventually grow out of Robbie C's videos, but the reason he keeps getting views and subscribers is because there's always going to be an influx of beginners. There's always going to be beginners. So I think that's kind of his niche, if that makes sense, in my opinion,
Hmm.
where he's like, how to throw this, how to da da da. That's like it's on beginners or people that aren't are trying to learn disc golf more. So even if maybe they're not that good, they watch Robbie. What do you think is your fan base and why do they keep coming back? And the answer could also be everyone, because I feel like your contact. I'll say this: when I first started playing disc golf, Foundation, Trash Panda, Jesse, Robbie C, I watched those videos like, and then Bodanza came a little later, but I watched those videos all day, every day when I was a beginner. But then as I've progressed in disc golf, me personally, I'm not really no longer watching the like the fun content of disc golf.
Casual.
Yeah, casual. It's more if I'm watching disc golf, it's gonna be Joe Miss. So yeah, I know that was a huge uh question, but and if you need a refresher on it, let me know. But yeah.
No, no, I'm tracking, dude. I agree. I think Robbie's fan base. Well, I would say I think a lot of Robbie's fan base is beginners, but I also think a lot of his fan base is the people that are constantly learning. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that goes along with my point. And I think I know my point. My point is a successful YouTube creator makes videos for themselves. And so Robbie C is successful because he himself is constantly learning new tips and tricks, constantly learning things about his game, and is a great teacher at those things. And so he caters to himself and is like, hey, I learned this, you learn this, you know? And so for me, it's like, I've told this story before, but I stepped into the sport and I was like, okay, I want to watch content. I started watching Jomez. I was like, okay, are there like any fun creators that do fun things? I started watching Foundation and, some in Trash
We
Panda
all land on
and all my jazz.
Foundation at
Yeah,
first.
I was watching it and I was like, mm, like,
I hate these guys. Trash
no,
Panda
I don't hate these
sucks.
guys.
No, I'm just kidding.
But it was just like the production level was just not where I wanted it to be. And I watch other channels outside of disc golf and I'm like, great story, great graphics, great editing, all this stuff. And there's like some formula and no one in disc golf is following it. And so I was like, I want this in disc golf. And so for a little while I kind of just waited. And then it just got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm going to be that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And so I decided to make videos for myself, in the sense of like I wanted a highly edited story based disc golf video. And so that's what I go for. And so honestly, a lot of people that come up to me are people that are around my age, in college, post college, before college, younger male guys. And they're like, hey, Jay Millie, what up? Love your videos, And so I would say most of my fan base, or I can say with confidence, most of my fan base is younger people because the humor I go for, the fast paced, ADHD content is more stylized towards the, Gen Z, millennial, new generations. Um, and like I think I mentioned it before, maybe not on the podcast, but my goal is to convince the boomers and the older generation to like Jay Millie too. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but part of my thought process in achieving that goal is to become a professional disc golfer because I think that someone who's a little bit older finds a lot of value in watching someone that can successfully play at a high level. So, like, the reason that Ezra, Brody, Simon, you know, people that don't put a ton of editing or storytelling into their videos. They do a good job of doing that, but like, their main appeal is that they're a pro.
They're nasty, and yeah, that's the only reason I
And
watch them personally.
yes, yeah, yeah, that's the only reason you watch them, and I think that's a lot of the reason that like anyone in an older generation is watching them as well. And so if I can prove that, hey, this dude can go on the pro tour and compete with the best of them, then I think that that generation would be willing to give my videos a chance. And, maybe they just start with my tournament content, but I'd like to think that if they start with my tournament content, I can convince them to just enjoy my style of content or enjoy Jay Millie's personality enough that they'd watch my other content too. So that's my goal, to step into the older demographic. But right now, I definitely think my demographic is, you know, college aged males, younger or older.
So, you mentioned about being a low to mid tier touring pro on this podcast a good amount of times. Um, what is your plan of attack to do that? Like, obviously right now, you work a full time job and then basically have another full time job with the editing. I'm saying
Mhm.
like I'm saying like this is after you quit your job, whenever that happens. What is your plan of attack to actually make that uh, a reality, or is it just to keep playing disc golf and keep making of videos? I'm just saying, do you have like a specific regimen in mind where you're like, okay, like you go ahead, and then maybe I'll elaborate.
No, I'm tracking, dude. I definitely I wouldn't say that I have like, oh, here are the 5 points to Jay Millie becoming a pro, but I know things I need to work on. Like, I would say first and foremost, the biggest thing I need to work on is putting myself in the pressure situations and actually performing. So, 2 tournaments ago, I averaged 1,006 or 1,004 disc golf. And for some reason, it was just like my brain was off, Like, I know I can play like I played, where I just throw the shots I want to throw and they go where I want to go and I make my putts and whatever. I shot 1,006 without making a single C2 putt, and I'm a pretty good C2 putter. Um, so, like, if I can do that, then imagine I cash some of those C2 putts. I'm up in the 1020s, I'm up in the 1030s.
Mm-hmm.
But the tournament I played last week or 2 weeks ago, I averaged like 930 or something. And for some reason, just everything was busted. And, it all boiled down to my mental game. Like, for some reason, I got on this one stretch. I went 4 birdies in a row and I was like, I'm feeling good. And then, if I'm being completely honest, someone on my card said a little bit of a bummer thing, and then he DNF'd and walked off the course. And that messed me up. And so I
Wait,
bogeyed the next
what?
hole, and then I bogeyed the next hole, and then I bogeyed the next hole.
Can you
And
elaborate on that? Or
I don't really want to. I mean, he's never going to listen to this, but I don't want to expose this guy. Essentially, something bad happened with his family, and he was playing really poorly. And he was like, "Hey guys, I don't think I can finish this tournament," and
oh,
so
okay.
he left the course.
Okay, that makes more
Um,
sense. Yeah, don't elaborate if it's something like family. Yeah, no need to elaborate on that. I was thinking like he just said my putt stinks, and then just walked off the course.
no, 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 no. It was a legit reason.
Okay,
But
yeah.
for some reason, I don't know. It just stuck with me, messed me up, and I just couldn't get out of that headspace. I mean, essentially for the rest of the tournament. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like, people talk about being an athlete and being able to control your heart rate in those pressure situations. I think in that tournament, I had a 15-footer and I turned on my heart rate thing on my watch and it was 135.
You're checking it mid pot. That is too funny.
Yeah, I showed it to the camera. I'm gonna post a video about this tournament.
Oh,
So spoilers for the listeners. But like I have
so
to be able to control my heart rate and my breathing and my mental game if I'm ever gonna perform at a high level. Um and I probably need to add 50 feet of distance. So, like, my plan right now is to keep putting myself in those situations. Like, the easiest way to get better at it is to have experience. So, I'm going to keep playing tournaments, and I'm going to keep playing MPO. Like, I'm not going to back down because I played poorly this last tournament. I'm going to play MPO for the rest of time. Like, I believe I can play at an MPO level even though I'm rated 960 or something. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to win an MPO tournament and all the while continue working on my putting and, try to find the form that works for Jay Millie. I think I'm pretty close, but I wouldn't say I'm completely there. I don't have full control and I'm not absolutely gassing them down the fairway like B. Kinney. So that's my main goal is to figure out a way to control my mental game and my heart rate in a pressure filled situation. Because the tournament that I averaged 1,006, I was chilling, dude. It was like a walk in the park.
yeah. If you're ever ready to wreck your form and overthink it, I do have a conspiracy theory on how you can throw a lot farther, but it might
For me personally, or for
for
like
you, yeah.
general overall?
Yeah, for you, where I've seen how you throw, and the reason you might not get as much power, but like
Dude,
that
come on. Let's
that
talk about it,
that
man. That's
could come at
interesting.
the
Let's do it.
expense of consistency with, or you like, you might just want to just, you don't never think about form, you might just want to just keep going and just stick with it.
No, no, no. I want to hear it
i'm
though.
giving
Let's
i'm
I,
giving you
let's
i'm giving
let's
you
talk
the
about the theory
way out.
now.
All right, so to me, given I am a 928, but I can throw 500 feet. I can get 450 pretty much every time on a hyzer flip. 500 is more so like, I'm throwing down a hyzer and it's, but I can get there. I can, to me, what I see, and it's hard to explain, but it looks like you're not really shifting your weight, your power to me. It looks like you're kind of, when you throw, you're striding away from the disc, and then it looks like you're kind of like stuck here, and then that's when you follow through, if that makes sense. It looks like you're kind of like really leaping away from the disc, and I think it might help if you're like not leaning back, so to say, because that's another timing issue. But like, transferring where you're here, reach back, and then come. It looks like you're kind of like start already way ahead of the disc and put your body super forward, and then you don't really generate that much power because your body's all the way forward. If that makes any sense.
So you think that I reach back too far?
No, no, no. I think no, no, no. I think the way your body, when you reach back, you're kind of like, you put your body way ahead of the disc, like where it's like you're already here. You know what I'm saying? So then when you get to this point, then you're kind of just like, you don't have that power, you don't have that shift in power. Obviously you do a little bit, but I'm just saying, to me it looks like you're just like striding forward. It'd be easier if I had a video, honestly. But that's just to me. It's, take that with a grain of salt. I just think if you were kind of like more back, you know what I'm saying? More back on your toes, where it's like, and then when you get here, then you start shifting it forward. It looks like to me you're already like forward
On
before
my
you even
front
reach
foot?
back. Yeah, it looks like you're already just your body's already forward before, and then that's why, and then you just fall through and don't get as much power because, dude, yeah, I would get up and demonstrate it, but if that make it doesn't make it's not gonna make sense
No,
to
I mean,
you,
I think I'm
but
tracking. Hopefully, our audio listeners are also tracking. We can move
they're
on.
definitely not tracking
We can move on
because
so they don't have to struggle through this. Um,
that's why
yeah,
I
I
was like,
yeah, I mean, I can get 450. Yeah, I've hit 500 maybe once or twice.
yeah,
So I
that's what
definitely
I'm
have some
saying.
distance
It's
to
not something
add
you
and
have
I
to
have
worry
some
about.
issues. Yeah, I would say I definitely don't have to worry about it, but it is something I've thought about. I think the main thing I need to work on first is the consistency to like
Hmm.
confidently step up to a gap and be like, yeah, I'm pure in this line. You know, like I have no doubt in my mind. I'm not going to hit first available.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't really want to, because yeah, you already throw far enough. Might as well just not overthink it and just, because I feel like at times, and the reason I'm probably not as good is because I've just overthought my form too much. Where it's like,
Mm,
where it's like I might be doing something right, but then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not doing this right, or something like that, and then like just
yeah,
really
like
okay.
when
Here's
I've
a perfect video. Keep going.
I was just gonna say when I've performed best is when I'm not thinking. Like
Yeah.
there's not a thought inside of Jay Millie's mind when he shot 1023 rated.
Exactly. Well, that's the same with me. All right, Jay Millie, here we go. This is for video listeners, but you're gonna have to hop on. But I'll make it quick. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. Your body, ready? Your body is striding forward, and you're already forward. There's no shift. You're already super forward, and then you just, because you're kind of stuck there, you just fling your arm through, and then that's why you're on your front foot. So it's like
Interesting.
you're already forward. Like your whole body's already forward, and then you're kind of stuck in that position. There's no weight shift. Obviously, there's a little weight shift there, but I'm just saying there's no like.
So
And
you
then you
think I
just,
need to be on my back foot more?
yeah. That's a good. Oh, sorry. Like on the ball, yeah, on the ball, and then real quick, I'll just show you a side profile. Let's just do Eagle McMahon. Sure, why not? So then, okay, so bad. So then, let's just do Eagle. I just have it here. It's like he's back, like he's there, and then boom, then he shifts all his weight. If that makes sense, where he's like
Interesting.
there, and then it's like, to me, it's like you're already. That's but like in
No,
that.
no, no. I think I'm
Are you
picking up what you're
tracking?
putting down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
So
definitely
that
am.
video was actually a perfect example. It looks like you could kind of just get stuck because it's stuck, and then
No,
it flies out
I
because you don't have that
I've
like
definitely
power
I've
shift.
definitely felt like my arm has been doing a lot of the work more recently.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're just kind of, and trust me, the only reason I'm saying this is because I've been through the same thing where I'm thinking like, stride. I gotta stride forward and reach out behind me, and then that'll get me power. And I would like stride completely forward, it like basically like hopping onto my right foot, but then it just like would come out weird, and then it's like, okay, that's not. I've been through that kind of like phase already where I'm thinking like, okay, that's the way to do it. Striding forward as much as I can, like basically hopping on my right foot, and then reaching out behind me. But I've come to learn that, it's more so. But then this is why form is so hard. The other side of it is you don't want to be leaning back where your timing is like you're already reached back before your right foot even comes down. So that's why they say timing's so important, is because it's just so intricate. Um, it's just a very specific thing. But I think that's just one thing that you could easily work on and get kind of more of that power. Yeah, it's like you're kind of arming the disc, because you're not really getting power from your body. It's all armed because you're just striding completely forward.
Yeah, yeah, it's so hard though because I'm looking at a video right now.
But it's your
Let me see
natural
if I can
form. Yeah,
send
it's
you
your
the.
it's natural. It's so hard to like, trust me. I know. And I'm not saying my
Well,
form is
like
perfect
I'm
either.
I'm looking at a video I took actually today, and it looks like my weight transfer is at the right time. Let me send you this picture so you can see what I'm talking about. But like my thought process would be I want to reach back and be fully reached back before I step with my front foot. And then as soon as I hit my front foot, that's when I explode. Right.
Correct. Yeah, you're 100% correct there. It's just I just feel like
And
you put your body way too forward, and that's what I'm saying with this right here. You bring your body, you just stride away. Basically, you stride away from the disc completely, and then your disc gets stuck, and that's why it kind of goes there and kind of doesn't come through seam, and then you're kind of like, and then that's why you finish on your foot. You know, when you see pros, they finish on, and it's like, and they complete follow through. You're just kind of you get stuck. If that, it's like, obviously, I'm very passionate about form and stuff like that, and hopefully this helps anyone, or maybe I'm just so dumb. But it to me, that's what it looks like. You kind of are. That's a power suck for you. Like, you have everything, and I wouldn't worry about it. I'm just saying, I think that's a power suck. That kind of really just over the top striding forward without really, like, doing the shift. Like, to me, when I think about it, when I think about form, is, and this is again audio listeners, I'm sorry, is it's just like I'm here, same thing. Once I get my full reach back, that is when my foot touches the ground. But then once I'm full reach back, that's when I'm shifting my weight and going forward with it. Once I get that reach back, I feel like you're already on your front foot. If that, like fully, I guess this is the best way to explain it. You're fully on your front foot already at your max reach back, which is probably why you don't do on your heel, because you're already fully on your front foot. And then you're just like, you get jammed. You get jammed because you're fully on your front foot, as opposed to when I'm doing it, my timing, I'm barely on the front foot on the full reach back, and then I'm shifting.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I did notice like there was a weird transition when I first started throwing. I rotated off of the my heel, and then for the last year or so, I've rotated off of my like toes, like the front of my foot. And I saw some pros who also rotate off of their toe, but I
Yeah.
always kind of thought that the ball of or like the heel of my foot would be the proper place to rotate off of. And I think maybe that would be my solution cuz if I'm on like my toes, it's easier for me to put more weight, but if I'm planting with like my heel and rotating on my heel, I think I would like be much I think my weight transfer would probably be better. So,
Yeah. Well, that video that I keep showing is like a perfect example of where it's kind of, you just like stop. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like the follow through, if you're explosive, it's like, and then they follow through, like their whole body's rotating. There, it was just like, since all your weight's already on your front foot, by the time you're just like, it's kind of like and then you're just arming it, and then you just kind of like stop.
Yeah. Well, something
There
to
we
work
go.
on.
I
I
mean,
knew I had issues.
it's so tough. Obviously, it, like you do shift your weight, but it's like because you wouldn't be able to throw the disc if you couldn't. But
Yeah,
it's just
totally.
like I just feel like if you were on your kind of like on the balls of your feet a little more, kind of waiting to explode rather than completely just like yeah, I don't know.
I got stuff to work on. Long story
Yes.
short. All right,
There we
let's
go.
move on.
Let's move on. Because I was gonna ask you a question because yeah, we should probably like I gotta be at the airport like pretty soon in a couple hours. Um, how? So you said are you recording like your 2 round tournaments? Or are you recording flexes with your buddies or both? But how? If it's I'm more so curious if this is like random shotgun tournament. Um, how are you recording? Like, what's the process?
So I don't typically record unless I have an idea. So like I'll just play tournaments to play a tournament, and yeah, maybe I'll ask my wife to record a hole if I think I might ace or whatever. But if I have an idea, that's when I'll record a tournament, Like my in the bag was a flex start, but I knew I wanted to film my in the bags, so I recorded it. This last tournament, I knew what I wanted to title the video. I wanted to title it my first real MPO tournament because it was my first real MPO tournament. But like I might play a tournament this Saturday and I don't have an idea. So like I'm not necessarily planning on filming a video.
But I mean,
But
like, how are you? How are you? I'm saying like the logistics of it. How are you filming the videos of the tournament with and I'll go further without distracting other card mates.
mm,
Or like
yeah.
obviously like if you were on my card, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's sick, record. But obviously there's some people that are gonna blame you for their missed putt or whatever
Mhm.
because you're recording yourself. I'm not saying that's justifiable. I'm just saying what strangers like you never know with people. I've just played disc golf and I know, sometimes people are just angry and looking on things to blame.
Mhm.
Um how are you recording? I just want to know because I want to record my own tournaments. This is where I'm going with this. I want to record my own tournaments too. I think it'd be super cool, but I'm always afraid that, like, either it's just gonna get in my opponent's heads, or they're gonna get angry because, like this kid's such a tool. Why is he recording himself? Like, because when you're having a bad day, you're looking for anything to put the blame on.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just wondering how do you go about that? Is it, like, do you ask the card mates like, hey, are you guys cool with this? Like, please tell me no, or um, yeah,
Yeah, so first tournament I recorded is a video on my channel titled I shot prorated disc golf as an amateur. It's like my third video. And that video, I remember showing up to the tournament wanting to film it. I had scripted everything, like the beginning part, and then just hoped I played well. Um, and I had my wife with me. And first round, I was like, "Oh gosh, they're gonna think I'm such a tool, like who records their own tournaments."
yeah,
It's kind of how I felt early on, like recording myself on any course. I was like, "Why do I have? Who am I to record myself playing disc golf and assume people want to watch it?" And that's kind of what I assumed everyone thought when they saw me, and maybe they still think that and did think it back then. Now I just don't care. Like whatever, I'm doing it, so get over it. But for the tournament, I was like, "Hey, you guys cool if my wife records? She's going to be discreet." And so essentially like, well, I asked them first, they were like, "Yeah, chill." And I asked my wife to just, hold it here, like, just like hold my her phone and like make it chill, like don't make a big deal about it. And went super well, no one cared, whatever. And post the video, did great. Um and so then like I don't remember the next time I recorded a tournament, but similar vibes. Like iPhone, wife recorded, asked the card, blah blah blah. And slowly over time, I've been doing this a year and a half now. I've just become more comfortable recording myself without worrying like what people were thinking about me outside of tournaments. And so that's like allowed me to show up to a tournament with my entire camera and be confident enough to be like, hey, are you guys okay if I like record my round? And I mean, if I'm being completely honest, most time people, there's like one person on my card that's like, hey, I know you. You're Jay Millie. You make videos. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when that precedent is set, everyone is much more primed to be like, oh yeah, sick. Record the whole thing. Maybe
Hmm.
be in the video or whatever. Um,
And I think
I've never
that,
run into an issue where someone's like said no, but I have gotten comments that were like, if you were on my card, you'd be distracting. The main times that people have commented that though were when I was playing like a flex start with my homies.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm never gonna be obnoxious in a tournament unless I'm like with the boys, you know?
Hmm.
If I'm playing with randoms, like I'm gonna do my best. Like especially, ask beginning, hey, is it okay if I record? If they say no, I'm just gonna ask my wife to be super discreet about it and hope they don't notice, or maybe I won't even record it. Who knows? And respect their wishes. Like that's probably what I should do. Um,
PR PR Millie, let's go.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I 100%, yeah, I understand. It's like, yeah, keep going, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, haven't had anyone turn me down, and it's like once you get over the fear that people are like think you're absurd or think you're silly for doing it or whatever, like you just set up your camera. Like I don't even think about it, Like my biggest worry is it's taking me so long to set up my camera. I just want to putt, or I want to throw my shot, like whatever. I'm not even worried about what people are thinking. And as long as I'm not just like make a putt and I'm like, screaming, oh my gosh, Jay Millie's the best, blah, like not being obnoxious
Yeah,
when I'm doing a tournament. Um, I don't think it's bothering anyone.
like,
So
guys, I just hit a circle one putt. That was all. Like, like
I'm
taking
goaded. I'm the
taking us
best.
like it's
Yeah.
whatever, like a where you look at the break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Um. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. The reason I brought that up is because, obviously, I have nothing against it. I was just hypothetically asking because, like I said, I would like that to do as well. And I think it was honestly even a good learning lesson for people that I think we all go through that. I went through that too. I'm much more comfortable going out on the course doing a camera. But at first, yeah, I felt like, dude, I'm a dweeb. I'm an absolute
Yeah.
dweeb with this
Yeah.
camera, and I'm so shy. And I'm just like, bro,
Yeah, you
like
think
I'm such an
everyone's
idiot.
staring at you. You think
Yeah,
like they're just thinking, Why is he doing that? Like, who would watch that idiot? That guy just threw into a tree 4 times when trying to ace run, and who would even watch someone that bad?
yeah, exactly. So I think advice for anyone listening that wants to take their camera out on a casual course and just record. I think that goes away. One, with the harder way with subscribers and I guess popularity, if that makes sense. Like I'm sure that's a huge attribution to you why you're like whatever because you're like, dude, like I do this for a living. I have 80,000 subscribers. Like it's just you're just more comfortable now. Like you have a reason to do it. But
Yeah,
that's definitely a big part. Same with me. That helped me where it's like, okay, like I'm more comfortable. People enjoy this. Like this is something I do. And then also the fact that some people might notice like, oh, that's that guy, and it makes me feel more comfortable that like like someone might even it real be like realize like even if they don't. I'm just saying on the casual course, even no one knows who I am. It might just the idea of like, okay, someone might like you look at my YouTube channel or be like, oh yeah, that's that guy. But I think best advice is just to keep doing it. I mean, it's always gonna be awkward for everyone when you first get out on the course with that camera. So just keep doing it, and eventually it does go away. But then, but if I started, and then I think it also comes back too. I think it's like different scenarios. I think like if I was recording around with like pros I didn't really know for the channel, I'd be like kind of like, embarrassed if, in a sense where it's just like oh my goodness, I'm so bad at this sport and I'm trying to record and I'm like kind of getting in their way and like da, 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 da. So but you know eventually what I'm trying to say is just keep creating. I mean, that's the. But yeah, I just wanted to know because I eventually do want to do like tournament rounds, and I think flex starts that's such a genius idea. Just doing it with your friends, they don't care at all. But I was just more, yeah, I was more so wondering about the random shotgun starts. And yeah, I think it's literally this. What you said was awesome. Just like kind of just like discreetly having someone hold it, not setting up a giant tripod every time you putt, and not kind of not breaking that fourth wall in a distracting way, where like you said, you
Mm-hmm.
hit a putt and be like, "Well, guys, that was awesome." Like turn to the camera
Yeah,
before you collect the putt.
if I'm gonna talk to the camera, I like hold back. You know,
Yeah,
like
kind of like off to the side, a little whisper.
like we're walking to the next tee, and I let everyone walk a little bit ahead, and then I'm like, dang, I just missed that 15 footer. Like that put me 5 strokes behind my goal. I'm stinking it up, you know. And then I catch back up by the time it's my time to tee or whatever. Like there's a way to go about it without being distracting and over the top and you know messing everyone up. So
Yeah. Um. Cool. Well, this was a sick episode. I feel like we got to know Jay Millie a little more.
yeah, there you go. A little insight into my videos,
Yeah, talk about
dude.
form. I hope people enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
I
I
hope you
know it
guys
was kind of
enjoyed our form review.
I know it was kind of rambunctious because form is such a hard thing to communicate. Really, it is. It's just so hard. It's like one person's mental thing. Like when I'm like when someone says like turn your hips towards the center, could to someone else mean completely something different in their head. So it's like so nuanced to how to explain it. So maybe that helped
Definitely.
someone.
I'm
But yeah,
surprised. I mean, we can talk about it right now. You didn't mention the new Huli release, dude. I'm hyped.
yes, sick. Yeah, thanks for that opportunity. Yeah, Hooligan Disc Yeet is coming out the 13th. The stock run with the new manufacturer. So it's their destroyer. It's their signature disc. It's my first Tour Series disc. So go check it out. Use code Ben10 or
Use code
Josh9.
Josh11.
Or sorry, Josh11. I knew it was like one or the other.
One up or one down. Yeah,
Josh11 to
get a
Josh11 gives you
discount.
11%. So to get a discount when those come out, and I'm so excited to throw them and try them out. So shout out Hooligan
I
Disc.
begged Garrett to send me some, so I think he may send me one or two. I'm
He's
hyped.
going to. Dude, Texas,
Uh,
Texas, Texas made, Texas born. Both of y'all.
yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
hyped, man. They look beautiful. I'm really
I'm
excited to
excited for
try
the
it out.
flight. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they fly. They looked like they were the first run eats, which were nice bombers. Second run, like the spoony eats, were just so stable. But I'm excited to see the. I'm hoping they're like the bombers that come back.
He
Truly.
said he said they have a very stable finish, but they're straight mid-flight.
That's what I'm
So,
saying, and that's what to me. That's what a destroyer is. It's like
mhm.
I can flip
The
it up.
-1-3. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Star Destroyer. This is like basic Star. Obviously, Halos are more stable, but Star they flip up, they turn, and then they come back, and that's why I love a
Mhm.
Destroyer because it's just so reliable. Until they get a little too flippy, then you just throw it on more hyzer and they bomb.
Yeah, there you go.
Anywho,
Now you get Yeats.
yeah.
Sick,
So
dude. Well,
thanks for
I
watching.
think that's our episode. I had some other points we could talk about, but we will talk about those
Yes,
next
next
week.
week because I need to go to bed.
Me
So
too.
if you see me at USDGC with bags on my eyes and a bit of zombie, give me a break, please. I'm asking you because I'm not gonna get much sleep tonight, and probably tomorrow night. You'll be getting there first thing in the morning. So yeah, cool. Thanks, Funsie.
Punzi.
Bye.